Hi, Craig Sullivan here with Sullivan Financial Partners. Welcome back to the Confident Retirement Journey. Today, we're going to talk about 3 ways to hit your retirement goals. Today's mostly going to focus around having a plan for income in retirement. But before we get into that, do you know that today's average of what people think they need to feel confident that they'll have enough to get to retirement is about 1.46 million. Now, you may have your own thoughts about that number. Maybe it's too little, maybe it's way more than you'll need, who knows? But the important notice is that that's an average, and that's over $200,000 more than that average was just a year ago, and about 50% more than it was in 2020. That's not that long ago to see how people are believing that it's costing more and more and more to get through retirement. So let's dive in. 3 things you want to know. Number 1 is, when do we want to retire? Now, this is kind of important. We got to know how long we're going to plan for. When do we have to start planning for it? Set a retirement date. Now, nobody's going to hold you to it. If you decide you want to leave a little sooner and the math works, great. If you want to continue working because you love what you do, at least you know you're prepared. But in order to start a plan, we've got to have some sort of idea of when you'd like to retire, if possible. Building a timeline. This is setting milestones in place to show yourself that you're on track for retirement. These are things that are very important as you go through your working years and accumulating assets for your retirement, as you're building up this plan and fulfilling this plan so that you know when you retire, you've hit your milestone. And then how about we choose a location? Do you know a lot of people relocate for retirement? For some people, that means moving closer to their grandkids. For others, that may be spending 6 months of the year in some foreign country. Everybody's got plans a little bit different. But those differentiators will absolutely have an effect on your overall plan for retirement. Predicting your annual expenses. This is a big one. Nobody likes to budget, but it's something that's very important to understand if we're going to have a real conversation and a real plan around your retirement income. First, how about our lifestyle, right? Do we want to slow down, sit on the back porch, hang out with grandkids for our retirement? Do we want to travel the world? Is it going to be a mix between there? What is your lifestyle going to be in retirement? We find that most of our clients are looking forward to adventure in retirement. They're looking forward to exploring and doing all those things that they couldn't do in their working years. You've got the freedom, you've done the hard work. Maybe now's the time to enjoy it. Where you want to live has a big difference on what your income plan could look like in retirement. Medical expenses can have a dramatic effect on your retirement. If you have not planned for those effectively, whether that's through planning out how you're going to pay for medical insurance or how you're going to handle long-term care events if they come up, etc. If we've not built a plan for those, sometimes we find that it can have a detrimental effect on our overall plans. Inflation and taxes. Obviously, inflation, things aren't getting any cheaper, but taxes, I believe, are going to be one of the most important things to focus on in retirement for those that are coming into retirement these days. I believe that with all the advice about putting money into pre-tax accounts throughout your entire working years, the taxes are going to have the biggest expense to a retiree's budget throughout their retirement. And then finally, we've always got a plan for those unexpected expenses. These can pop up out of nowhere. They can have to do with children moving back into the home, helping raise grandkids, all sorts of different things. In fact, we've done a whole nother video about this. Click the link on the screen that's popping up now if you want to check out that video. It'd be good to look at. The most important thing to answer all of these questions is to have a plan. Now, obviously, it's something we believe very strongly in, and it's part of our confident retirement journey, is to make sure we have a solid income plan for your retirement. When should we be taking those withdrawals? When should we start them? Where should they come from? When should we take Social Security? I get this question a lot, Craig, when is the right time? And there is a mathematical answer to that, but you got to be able to tell me your expiration date. So otherwise, it's building things into the plan to make sure that your Social Security, your other income sources, and your investments are all working together to accomplish your goals in retirement. Well, Craig, what should I do if there's a market downturn? We all know the stock market doesn't always go up, though we'd like it to, But when it doesn't, how does that affect our income plan? If you're like most people when they come to visit with us, I wouldn't even say most people have a plan. They have some investments and sometimes they've done very well, but they don't take into context what might happen during a market downturn. If we're taking money out as the market's falling, that can have a detrimental effect. We want to make sure that your income plan is solidified so that no matter what's going on in the market, your lifestyle is taken care of. As part of our Confident Retirement journey, we believe that having an income plan is just 1/5 of a financial plan. If you need help creating that for you, give us a shout. We'd love to walk you through it. Till then, keep thinking bigger, keep exploring the possibilities. Thank you.